Welcome to Brian's Attic. I'm Brian.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Caleb. I went on a run. I had been going on trail runs, and I went to a reservoir, and it's generally there's a sign that says "Do not go this way." That I run on that trail because nobody else runs on it because people are smart and follow the instructions. But it's pretty much like an ATV trail for park staff to use to get around places easier. So like it's not well maintained. There's a ton of ruts and mud and stuff. And I went on a 1.5 mile run, and I made it to the end of the run when I was going to turn back, and I hear, and I'm like,
It's a giant dragonfly.
what is
coming after you.
that? And then it's actually a UFO. Anyway, I keep going forward, and I turn around, and there's a bald eagle staring at me. And I'm like, if I told anybody this story, they wouldn't believe me. So I start running past it. It flies away. Then I turn around, and it had dropped an eagle feather, which I still can't verify.
It's a shame that we don't have video to show this eagle feather.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Or get a document basically stating that it's in fact an eagle feather because it's illegal and the government would confiscate it. You cannot have within your possession a eagle feather because they're
a guaranteed eagle feather. So you can just be a alleged eagle feather.
Yeah. So but if I send it in and they're like, it's 100% a match, then they're like, we're keeping it. And it's like, okay, well, that ruins the story.
Why do they need eagle feathers?
They don't want people capitalizing off of the national bird.
Mm-hmm. Which was going to be a turkey, funny enough. Benjamin Franklin.
Like, if you could guarantee that it was an eagle feather, you could then sell the eagle feather, which would then motivate capitalists,
who would want to buy an eagle feather?
Well, because the
bourgeois
of our national
rise up.
bird. That's cool.
All
Natural coolness.
Okay.
But I felt like it was a spirit animal, like in the sense of
there's a market out there for it.
I'm on the right path
running. We were talking before the. Is it okay if I say this? We were talking before the show about OnlyFans.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that OnlyFans was brought up. In fact, I think it's brought up in our very first episode.
Okay, never mind. So we were talking about OnlyFans disallowing certain explicit content soon from, or either now or soon from their platform. So I suppose I shouldn't be surprised that there is a market for it. What?
I said you cooking shirtless will no longer be allowed. It's too raunchy for the platform.
Actually, it would be allowed.
The raw attractiveness would be too much. Yes.
No, it's just a sheer attractiveness, Brian. It doesn't matter on paper what it is. It just matters that Andrew's too much for the platform.
Yes,
I'm sure elsewhere.
OnlyFans has an attractometer.
It does. And Andrew's like 300 out of 10.
Well, Andrew doesn't register. It's just off the charts.
Mm-hmm.
It's through the stratosphere, aka
it's one of those things where it's like the
plane of light.
That's just the way it is for flat earthers.
My big brain makes me so attractive.
Giga brain,
galaxy brain.
Cooking.
Oh wait! For some of you will get this. Megamind galaxy brain.
Oh yeah. Anyway, OnlyFans.
Loyal fans of Brian's Attic. Back when Brian's Attic was in an attic.
And
was earlier this year.
Yeah. Remember when Brian's Attic was still in an attic? I remember.
I remember.
You sound like a southerner and somebody from the inner city somehow simultaneously.
I was referencing a TV show. It doesn't matter.
Oh. Okay.
The TV show's not funny, and none of us here watch it, so it doesn't matter. So anyway, flat earthers? Yes.
What were you going to say about OnlyFans? I'm interested in what you're going to say.
Oh, well,
Caleb is always interested in OnlyFans.
I was marveling at the idea of there being a market for the eagle feather, but then I thought, oh yeah, OnlyFans has a market for that, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
Only eagles.
Well, I feel like OnlyFans would be like the easiest market, though.
That's
I feel
true.
like there's a better market for eagle feather.
How about this? How about this? There was a market for pet rocks once.
There you go.
1970s, baby. Right? Or did I get the decade wrong? Or was it the 80s?
I think it was the 70s. I said dumb Callies because the Californians are stupid.
That got brought up today at work. I was talking to one of my coworkers about rocks, and he was like, "Yeah, the 70s,
rocks, obsidian,
sedentary rocks. They got really fat."
Nah, igneous.
No,
baby,
it's
no.
I don't think it was any specific kind of rock. It was just, hey, we found this rock on the side of the road. Let's sell it. Let's put googly eyes on it and sell it.
What's the kind of rock that's like it breaks apart? Because that's always my favorite type of rock.
I think that would be a sedimentary rock.
Sedimentary
all
rock.
rocks when you hit them hard enough.
Sedimentary rocks are made of sediment.
Yeah.
Which are like lots of different smaller rocks that are compacted together.
We had to watch a video where there was 3 rock creatures that described how the processes the different rocks were made, and they sang. And
I don't recall this. I know of sediment. I know sedimentary, which is, as Brian described,
igneous.
There's igneous, right, which is formed by the cooling of lava.
And metamorphosis.
So I say again?
Metamorphic rock is basically formed under immense pressure.
Yeah.
So, like a good person at a terrible workplace.
See, I was thinking the igneous was the metamorphic.
Break apart? Oh.
I always found it interesting.
In my head, I hadn't said it.
How you could make like primitive weapons technology out of igneous rock by doing flint napping and stuff. Like I find that to be very cool. How
flint napping, like sleeping on flint?
That would be so painful.
Like, I would rather make weapons technology from the material that igneous rocks are made from.
But then you got to
drop it on people I don't like.
Whoa. So
you're talking about weapons technology. What are weapons for? For killing people.
Animals. Just kidding.
Oh.
If you have a hit,
I'm okay with cooking my deer in molten magma.
You don't have to use them. They're just deterrents.
Yeah.
Because
see, I've never
always heated the first time you pointed at someone.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Here's a question.
First time we pointed the nuke at Japan.
It's not an interesting thing about a weapon though, that in order
we had
for
to drop it
first,
Andrew.
You have to demonstrate its effectiveness.
Yeah.
You know?
You're definitely right about that. Because the first time you see something and someone says, stay back or I'll hurt you, it's like, well, I don't know what that is. Maybe he's bluffing. So honestly, the best way is you don't even say, like, stay away from me. You just pick a random person and make an example of them. And then to the rest of them, you say, stay away from me. Or you end up like that guy.
Oh.
Yeah,
action
Ender's
first.
Game style.
Cruel, perhaps. Effective, yes.
That's Ender's Game. Good book.
Well,
that book is phenomenal.
It's pragmatism. You can't take something completely unknown, even if it is of surpassing, overwhelming power, and point it at people if they have no idea that they're supposed to respect it, and then expect them to do so. So you have to show them, like, here you go. Like, I'll be your teacher. I'll show you. Hey, Bobby, step up. Boom.
Unless you're really good at bluffing. If you're really good at bluffing, you can get away.
Well, if you're really good at bluffing, you don't need the weapon to begin with.
Yeah.
Well, if you're good at but still the bluff is based on some form of reality. The
not
person
necessarily
recognizes.
There's plenty of times in history where
the bluff could be the weapon's non-existent.
Yep. And so you're acting like it is,
or the bluff could be, I'm never going to use this on you no matter what you do.
The person's fear is still based on something they understand.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
But if they have no reason to fear, then they might be like, oh, it's a weapon, I guess, but like, why should I care about it?
Yeah.
If they're intelligent, they'll say, I should be cautious, but I'm not just going to walk away.
Yeah.
This conversation has gotten me thinking about, like, perspectives on atomic bombs before they were dropped.
That's what I was thinking, too.
Yeah.
Like, why should...
Of course, I guess
if we say we have a bomb of incredible...
Testers,
huh?
The scientists that made them would have, like, when they tested it and whatnot, they would recognize it, and so they knew. But I guess before they ever dropped their first successful bomb. It's like, I wonder what their perspective was.
See, the thing is, if you threaten someone with a nuclear bomb, and the only people around to tell you how dangerous it is are people who are affiliated with the people who made the bomb, i.e. your enemies, why would you listen to them if they say, oh, you should do what he says, this weapon's really powerful? They're like, well, of course you're going to say that.
Well,
your success is his success.
I wasn't necessarily thinking of them, but even the scientists themselves.
Well, they're trying to make it effective, so they hope it is.
Right.
It's not like someone said, "Hey, Bobby,
But-
the intern, just like threw something together today. You want to try it? Oh, whoa, the thing blew up! Wow!" No, it's like
But
we're trying to make a bomb.
appreciating the actual like power, like they already had explosives. You know, they were just trying to
Yeah.
make a really big explosive.
The U.S. had to drop 2 in a sense too, because even after dropping it for the first time, like the rest of Japan knew about the destruction, but they didn't like. I guess what you would say is they maybe with one you can almost dismiss it in a sense. That sounds like really like I don't know, like because they didn't surrender until the second one, and it wasn't apparent that they were going to surrender with the second bomb. But it's like I guess what I'm saying is the ability to dismiss the destructive nature of a new weapon is so strong that sometimes it takes multiple uses of that weapon in order for it to
Maybe
be
it's
a
like, oh,
deterrent.
he can't or won't do it again.
Yeah, because
And
that
it's
was
like,
so
and then we
destructive.
did it again.
But there's actually, I don't remember, there may have been a third one at the time, or it may have been in production, but I don't believe there was a. They did? It was ready to go?
Yeah, they had a third one, and then they decommissioned it. You weren't there. You weren't there. Brian's brother, Michael, was talking about.
I was there for that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you were there for the Demon Core?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, the Demon Core was the core of
The
the
third
third
bomb?
atomic bomb that they were going to blow up.
Okay.
If you wanna know more about that, I think his name was Louis Slotin, and then also some other guy. But like, yeah, they were doing lots of like nuclear experiments with it, and like so many people got radiation poisoning, and like 2 of them died before they finally decommissioned what they called the Demon Core.
Well, the people
yeah.
who were on the plane for the second bomb ended up getting like it wasn't like radiation sickness, but they died of complications being close to the bomb when it dropped, because even though their aircraft was flying out of the air zone and was technically considered a safe distance, if I remember right, and I may not be, but I think they died of radiation, like some sort of
Wow.
complications caused by it later.
Honestly, radiation seems like one of the worst things we have ever invented. As
Oh
humans.
yeah, for sure.
Did we invent radiation?
Well,
Radiation
discovered.
is one of the worst things we've ever inflicted on existence.
What's crazy is it takes people so
it is
quickly
pretty
to die.
horrifying.
You're cooking, like you're cooking. You know? Yeah.
Well, it's like it's both very rapid and also very slow. It's like you
Mhm.
think about, the guys who are testing, kind of messing though, testing the Demon Core. Like they just touch it, and it's like a matter of seconds, and then all of a sudden they're like dead within 24 hours. But it still took some time. And it's like
Also, I think
rapid
of
deterioration in terms of, a person's lifespan, but in terms of like pain over the
That's
course
a
of,
while.
hours, that's a lot to endure right up to your death.
I think perhaps even a little bit more than the immediate and very recent. Not recent's the wrong word. Very 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 shortly after human casualties. I think of the damage that such a weapon does to the environment. Like before Chernobyl, there were people living in that city, and you could like grow stuff there, and you could live there, and you can't do that anymore. Like straight up, you can't live in that part of the world anymore. Not because of the predators, not because of some natural disaster, but because you'll just like fall over dead.
Actually,
And
yeah.
how long is that going to be the case?
they said millions of years.
Can't they
as far as the elephant's
Mathematically
foot.
determine that.
I don't mean like it's like forever. I mean like I just don't know how long. But what I'm saying is that's going to take a long time. If Caleb is correct, it's millions of years. Now you think of that's what we did to one place, one place, but
On
like
accident.
on accident. Fair enough. But like that's what happened to one place.
I'm saying that's a lot of damage for an accident.
Yes. It also makes me wonder, but they have they rebuilt Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and like people still live there.
I think it's
People live there
because
now.
it's
I
because
recently
they
saw.
cleaned it up. Like, I mean, they
Oh.
actually had to go in there and do it. Like, I don't feel like they just started building again. If I remember
No, of
right,
course not.
they
But
had to go like.
then why can't they clean up Chernobyl?
I
I'm not sure.
It could be the nature of the
That's true.
the bomb / radioactive.
My
activity.
point is more, what happens if we come up with like something even worse?
We have the hydrogen
and
bomb.
we still haven't learned our lesson, and then we make something even like an even worse problem in like a different part of the globe. What happens if we just keep doing that over and over and over again because we're humans and we never learn, and we eventually create the post-apocalyptic world of like there's only one city on the planet that's like habitable with like a 1%, like 1/10 of 1% of arable land, and like now what?
The hydrogen
Like humanity
bomb
has to go down to like 500 people.
uses an atomic bomb as a trigger. That's
So a
the
great thing
reaction of
about
it. So I think we've already
uh,
reached the point where it's worse. I have a question. If I
Oh,
could, go
real
ahead,
quick
Brian.
though.
Yeah, you're fine.
Great thing about audio only is live feedback. So Chernobyl could be recovering. I'll use that word for another few hundred years.
Okay, hundreds.
Some
not millions.
estimates reach into the thousands.
Okay, not millions.
So not within
And it looks like they're actually trying to clean it up.
Right.
Like we've got 3 decades of cleanup going, and
70%
so
of go ahead.
basically not within the foreseeable future will Chernobyl be a habitable area again.
If I remember correctly, and it's not due just to Chernobyl, but 70% of rivers in Russia are like extremely polluted, and you're unable to due to factory waste. Radiation would be like in that region of Russia, but it's 70 if I remember correctly. You can check me on that, Brian. And the other thing I was going to bring up, and this is a more
I
of a
won't be fact checking everything.
Okay, this is a philosophical question.
Where's the fun in that?
You think about the destructive nature of the weapons that were made and deployed and used and tested, and also, of course, in Japan. And the question is, what do you think is holding back the Watergate, or has held back the Watergate, for
Ice wall.
these weapons not to be used
Nixon.
for 50 years, or however,
Nixon.
70.
Nixon is the one holding back the Watergate.
I didn't mean to say Watergate. No, but what do you guys think has held back basically civilization from imploding?
I think it's World War II.
Genuinely.
With that, it's mad. Mutually assured destruction. When it was only the U.S. who had nukes, sure, fine, we could bully people, but like now there are plenty of developed nations that have or are expected to have nukes. I mean, there's the meme of like Iran is 1 or 2 years within getting a nuke. They've been 1 or 2 years within getting a nuke for like 20 years now, and they still don't have it. Or if they do, they don't tell anybody. It's like, okay, who cares? So like not them, but like Russia has nukes. I think Israel has nukes. I think there are some.
France does.
North Korea
UK.
has nukes, right?
France. North Korea has nukes, yeah. At least a nuke.
But what stops like one bad act from triggering?
I don't know how many nukes he has.
North Korea.
At least a. Like how does he need more? Like does he honestly need more? China probably has nukes.
China
I'm pretty
does.
Sure they do. Yeah. Like and so
Just one
now
really big nuke is
now
all
you can't
North
just like
Korea's
throw
got.
your weight around and say, oh, we'll fight you man to man, but also we have our trump card because they just pull a reverse Uno card and say, yeah.
But everybody has a trump
have that
card. I mean, I guess the question is, or the thing to say would be,
when
none of
everyone's super, no one is.
nobody's
That's why.
had, nobody's had or there hasn't been a regime that's fallen that has had nukes in their arsenal. Think about that. I don't believe so. Because if that happens, then that's whenever they would have
Eric
nothing
Swalwell,
to lose
is that
by
you?
dropping it.
What?
Eric Swalwell, is that you?
Okay,
Do I have to explain the
I don't see a
context?
Chinese spy anywhere.
Do I have to explain? Yeah. Do I have to explain the context for that? Eric Swalwell was he said something about like gun control, and someone was like, "Hang on a second, don't you realize that like the people are way more armed than the government?" And Eric Swalwell says, "Well, the government has nukes, like implying he would use nukes on the American
I thought that
public."
was actually Joe Biden that said that.
That was Eric Swalwell.
Oh.
So I call him Eric the government has nukes Swalwell.
Yeah. I mean,
Is that you, Eric the government has nukes Swalwell? Is that you? Belak? Belak, is that you?
Belloc. Yeah. I guess there's
Not
two
Caleb
things.
Belak?
I could see if a regime that had nukes in its arsenal fell, them using it as a last-ditch effort that would trigger something. Or
They don't want to rule an ash heap.
But some people
Do
don't
they?
care.
Well, it could be kind of a vindictive.
Some people vindictive.
Oh,
you
like
know,
screw
we're
you.
not
Like,
gonna- we'll go down fighting, kind of.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's a
mad,
real
basically.
thing.
If I lose,
the
you
Spartans
lose too.
of Thermopylae.
Yeah, and that's been seen throughout history. A regime falling, just doing its last-ditch thing to pillage a town or kill people before it goes out, like the band of fighters doing
If
that.
I'm losing, we all lose.
Or
Yeah.
Belshazzar from. I mean, it's not okay. He didn't have like some destructive thing, but he was partying right up to the end.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just you do whatever random thing you feel like. No
inhibitions.
Your inhibitions, because you don't have any reason to hold back.
So it's kind of like, is the world going to stay in homeostasis then, in the sense of like all the countries that have nukes like aren't gonna, because that kind of calcifies borders. You know what I mean? If you have
He's using these words, but I don't think he knows what he means.
I was just thinking, no homeo.
Romeo and Juliet.
no homeostasis, like everybody, like I guess what I'm saying is like if
I
every
mean, Juliet
country
was in
eventually
stasis for a little while.
develops a
and faked her death.
nuke, then national borders aren't going to move, because then if they move, then people would.
Well,
nuke each
do
other.
national borders even count anymore?
I mean, the Taliban's borders just expanded.
Yeah, but they don't have
True.
nukes.
Too soon.
Any
too soon.
truers? Any truers?
Truers?
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is a flat earther
bringing
thing?
Twitch. I'm bringing Twitch chat into this. I'm sorry.
See, that's a
Oh,
term I
yes.
didn't know. I was talking about terms that I was going to quiz you on. I don't know what a truer is. But I'm
Yeah,
not as
Caleb,
much
do
a
you have
gamer
one for
boy.
today?
Not off the top of my head. No.
I'll
thought
find
I
one.
You guys keep talking.
Talk,
Wait, you're doing
talk,
this
talk,
now?
talk.
Oh, it's too. No, dude. You have to you have to slip it in casually. You know. Hey, Andrew, have you heard of like a swinage?
That is our preparation for. Okay.
Swinage. SWENOG. Swinage. A swinage is when Caleb is unable to deliver after hyping himself up. Caleb swinaged himself.
Oh no! This is so. I'm so nervous.
Why?
right
Why
now.
do I
I'm
have
sweating.
this? Why do I have these tools?
Hey, when all you have is a multi-tool, everything needs fixing.
The following is the first after-party show for Brian's Attic Season 2. I thought I would include this one here to offer a glimpse at the kinds of extra material Patreon supporters have access to. Enjoy. Here, Andrew, you and I can do the sponsor spot while we're...
Oh yeah, sure, let's do it.
let me... For Caleb.
Laugh, Caleb. Laugh, monkey.
So we don't want just like a straight read here.
Can I start?
He clicked his pen. Okay, so here's the way it works. This is the bold is what we have to say.
Can
And
I start?
everything else, all the bullet points are.
Do we
things
all
that
say it at
have to
once?
Say.
How does
What?
this work?
No, not necessarily just. So I forgot I could put my mouse here and show you. So the
Can I
bullet
start
points
us?
are things that we have to mention. Yes, you can start.
Thank
Not
you.
yet.
Thank you.
The bullet points are the things we have to mention, but they can be in our own words.
Got it.
This has to be word for word.
Oh,
Okay. Okay. Just let me know.
one
In
sec.
fact, I don't recall ever saying this in my actual. Oh well.
Okay, I got it. Sorry, I took a minute, guys.
I don't remember what they all are. Okay, Andrew.
So bulleted points we need to read.
No. Bold is word for word. We have to say that. But all the bullet points are like they can be in our own words. Like you don't have to say it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. It can be with Anchor. You've got everything you need to make a podcast.
That's about the 2 ways you can say that. Thank you.
I'm not sure how. I think with my initial read, I just did it. I don't know. It was
I'm
just
ready.
easy, but I want it to be like snappy, maybe, but or just like
You go, girl.
I'll edit it to make it sound better, but
I just imagine one of us like you construe what we're saying. You cut it to where it's like our words. Alrighty. Anyway, sorry. Andrew, you're having fun. Don't lie.
okay.
I mean, I smiled.
Andrew, go.
These are the required points to express your ad. Feel free to verify this. I flubbed it. All right, I'll actually start.
course
Okay,
you flubbed it.
just give me that. Just give me that.
Let me explain. It's free.
If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many other streaming services. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need. What? What's so funny?
I don't know. Caleb started laughing and I started laughing.
Mute your mic!
I'm gonna mute myself so you can...
Here's... Good job, Andrew.
I didn't do it! all right.
How far did you get? I don't know.
I got
Caleb
to...
shouldn't be...
I started corpsing
Caleb, you don't
around
have
the
to
4th
mute
bullet
it.
point.
You were on the 4th bullet point?
I corpsed like in the beginning or in the middle of it. Can I do it again?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go in the other room.
Okay, you have to mute yourself too, Brian.
You have to... I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. The funnier, the better, I think.
Anchor is a really easy way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many other streaming services. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place, so you should really download it. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today.
Did he say you can really download it?
No, I didn't.
You can really download it.
I did not say that.
What did you say?
I said it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. I don't recall.
You can really download it.
No. I said I don't recall.
Caleb.
I said the word download.
Did he
like
finish?
twice.
I know. I don't know.
Did
if
he
you're
finish?
saying that.
I didn't say really download.
Caleb.
No.
Anchor.fm. You can really download it. Oh, these bloopers. So you can really download it.
Did he finish?
Yeah, we're done.
Yes.
Okay. Do I need to read it?
I tried to sound like jovial and like conversational, but I don't think it really worked.
All right, Caleb, your turn. You don't have to read it word for word. You can.
I don't have any imagination.
You can ad lib like your apology letter.
Please no.
Is
your mic still muted?
No, it's not. Wait.
Okay.
Is it?
No, we
know.
can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay.
He just starts reading the whole thing, like perfect take, like the best take. It's like, oh, we didn't get any of that.
Anchor. It's
Big
free.
sad.
Okay, you're ruining it. You guys need to mute yourselves too. I'm gonna be laughing too much. You guys can't. And don't suck your mic either.
What? I stuck my tongue out, idiot.
Yeah, there you go. Please don't do that. All right, mute yourselves. Mute yourselves. Have you ever heard of Anchor? It's free. There are creation tools. Oh, I can't. I'm sorry.
Get on with it.
Okay. This is so nerve-wracking. Can I record this separately?
No, you cannot record this separately.
It's not. This is separate.
It makes me nervous.
You just have two people watching you.
Can you turn off your video?
Look, Yeah, okay.
I actually don't know how I would do that.
There's
You
like
just
there's
click
like
the
50
icon.
miles of separation between us. Okay.
Nah, I don't feel like it.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna write down bullet points real quick.
There are bullet points on the screen. What do you need to write down?
No, okay.
It's free. There are creation tools.
Wait.
Oh, he's actually writing this.
Mute yourselves. Go. Are you muted? Okay. If you haven't tried Anchor before, it's a cool distribution to stop. You're not muted.
I lied.
I hate you. Come on. I think I can get a good one in. Just mute.
Okay.
For real. Prior to Brian's Attic, I used to have my own personal podcast, which is no longer active, but I used Anchor then too. Anchor's free. It's a creation tool that distributes, or I can't. Okay.
You can do it.
Okay. Hey. Sorry.
All right, I'll mute Andrew.
Thank you.
Right.
Hey, if you haven't tried Anchor before, it's a cool tool. I've used it before whenever I was recording my personal podcast before Brian's Attic, but it's a tool that allows you to distribute your podcast across several different platforms, Spotify, Apple, Google, whatever you want to distribute your podcast over. You can make money with your podcast by recording ads like I am right now. And it allows you to have everything you need in one place as far as like editing your podcast, changing the title names, everything like that. It's really convenient. There's even a feature where you can remove an old episode and put a new episode in, or clip the episode to add new sounds and such, an editing tool within it, and I always found that very useful. So, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. It's a really good app. I'd recommend it if you're a content creator. It really helped me out. So
You can really download it. It really shouldn't be as funny to me as it is.
I think the next time I do the sponsors ad, I'm deliberately going to say you can really download it.
where did I say you can really download it, though?
This is not a scam. You can really
No,
download it.
You didn't say it, Caleb. It's what I thought Andrew had said at one point in his read. Like, you can make money from your pod. No, it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. You can really download it. Like, what does that mean?
At the end, you need to say, instead of going to Anchor FM, you need to say go to piratebay.net.
Go to what?
Pirate Bay. You know the torrent site?
Oh,
Never mind.
what's it called? I might need that later.
Pirate Bay.
Pirate Bay.
Pirate Bay.
All right,
LimeWire?
if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. You can really download it.
We need to stop.
There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from Andrew's phone or computer. What are you doing? What? These are visual jokes.
I'm not.
All right. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. So it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pirate Bay. Caleb muted himself.
What a dork.
I'm trying to be helpful.
Believe it or not, you can make money with your podcast. You can make it's got everything you need. I can't get over the way Caleb looks. All right. Download the free Anchor app. Or go to anchor.fm to get started. You can really download it.
No, you can go.
We're gonna go back in editing and like I didn't say that at all.
Mine sounded. I think mine sounded good, low key, when I actually did it. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean,
Yeah.
you demanded us not like say or listen to anything while it was happening, so we have to take your word for it.
You see,
I'd say
what I
it
was
was a
doing.
little on the long side.
I
It
mean, you
was,
can
yeah.
clip it down though.
I think I might intersperse bits and pieces. Of
Intelligible,
it. I'm not sure.
intelligible sponsor
Well,
You
ratings.
see, Jordy
I don't know.
LaForge.
I will. It will
Lobo.
be the most beautiful sponsor spot, but I think I'm gonna keep this whole thing in the final podcast just to, like, this was our process for making our sponsor spot.
You ought to put it at the end of the episode as kind of like a blooper thing for the fade out. You could do it that way. That way, it's actually got a place in that.
Or
Make it required listening at the beginning of the podcast.
Oh no! If you make it through this, you're a real fan.
Actually, Anchor.fm, you can't put the ads at the end of the podcast.
Okay.
I don't think. Now, if you have like a couple seconds tacked on to the end right afterward, you could do it, but it can't be the very last thing.
You could even piece together if you wanted to for a spot like parts of our different ones, but I don't know.
Well, that I'm pretty sure I said that I was going to do that. I think this recording might be a after party show.
Oh boy.
Welcome to the after party show.
Yeah.
So we're yeah. I
think we might have gotten 2 episodes out of that. We had the roadkill and the
Flat
bald
Earth.
eagle.
Flat Earth.
Oh, flat Earth, and then we had bombs.
If this is the
Yeah,
after
I
show,
forgot. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Flat
we
Earth.
recorded for about an hour and a half, so
we can
we've
do the
got-
Andrew.
No, because we haven't even been recording for.
Okay, an hour 20 minutes.
No, it says hour and 12.
No, because we were eating stuff.
You can see the.
Yes, you're right.
You can see it. It's right there on the counter.
It might have been, you know,
An
30
hour and
minutes.
quarter.
If this is the after show, I want to ask Andrew about what he thinks quacking means.
Caleb, can you turn your mic up? I can't hear you.
What about now? Can you hear
No.
me now?
Can you really not hear him?
He's too quiet.
What about now?
That's better. Ask your question again.
Let's go for some
So-
ASMR.
Use quacking. Okay, what does quacking mean?
Well, quacking refers to it refers to when a shady doctor performs medical malpractice on his patients. He's quacking. He's a quack and he's quacking.
Incorrect. Would you like a sentence?
Sure, give me a sentence. Use it in a sentence.
Brian, you need to mute your mic. You need to mute your
were
mic
really
because you're gonna
quacking.
get me to laugh. I guarantee it. I'm not gonna be able to
Okay.
make it through this sentence if you don't mute your mic.
Okay.
Okay. My cooking's so good. Gordon Ramsay is quacking.
Oh, okay. I get it. It's kind of like it's kind of like the word whack, but it's used as a put down of other people's abilities or performances by saying that yours are so good that in comparison theirs are whack or quacking. It's like capping, you know? Oh, you capping, like you're lying.
It means like shocked positively. I think that's what the definition was on the internet.
What was the sentence?
my
cooking's so
cooking's so good. Gordon Ramsay is quacking.
Oh, he's so impressed
And
because
is
your cooking's so
yeah.
good. I see.
it's like
Shocked
what would be the
positively.
word?
You just mean impressed, right?
Yeah. Shocked positively. Now, anytime I'm impressed with anybody, I'm gonna be like, "Yo, I'm so shocked positively right now."
I'm shocked, but positively.
Can you be shocked negatively?
in the
That's
words
called
of Tim
trauma.
Apple.
Shocked
Wow.
negatively is trauma.
Wow. What
Yeah.
a day.
I don't know who Tim Apple is.
It's Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple.
Oh.
Donald Trump called him Tim Apple once.
So can we discuss Jeff Bezos' rocket? Like, what's up with that
Can
thing?
we discuss Jeff Bezos' divorce,
Sounds
which led to his wife becoming the richest woman on the planet?
But she's a philanthropist.
I'm gonna let that one stand.
I've heard a word more mispronounced. than that
I'm
one.
gonna let that one stand. I won't comment on
She's
that.
a philanthropist.
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 The one I had originally gotten that's still somewhere at work on a notepad involves like fist, but not in a weird way.
Got a notepad?
I had a notepad at work that I wrote down basically like the hip terminology I was going to question Andrew on, but I left that notepad at work And it also had topics I thought about bringing up, like, is it possible for a clown to not be creepy? Because I genuinely think that all clowns, no matter how cute they might
Isn't
look,
that
is
subjective?
creepy. Yeah.
There's something fundamentally clown-like about them, and you find that creepy.
I think
So
it's
every
objective.
True clown.
I
is
think it's
creepy
an
to you.
objective truth for most human beings, which defeats the purpose of it being objective. So,
Yes, exactly.
No, I understand. But I don't know. If you think clowns aren't terrifying, you're not human. That's my rationale.
See, I feel like an episode, either like a main body or after party of Brian's Attic is not quite complete without dehumanization of at least one subgroup of people. In this case, it's people who don't think clowns are creepy.
Clowns are
Wait,
terrifying.
The people who don't think clowns are creepy
Are not human.
are not human.
We are
I
dehumanizing.
thought that
these
was
people.
honestly, we already covered the flat earthers, which we determined were elves and not human.
They're not
But they're not subhuman.
Yes, they're not subhuman. They are
They're
uber
the next stage of evolution.
No, they're
Are we gonna become elves?
only if you become a flat earther, my friend.
Only
Well,
if you.
The irony is that elves live forever,
Mhm.
but it's like humans don't. So it's like, as a human, in order to evolve into an elf, like, I don't know.
See, you can tell I'm an elf. You can't see my non-pointy ears because of the headset.
In the Sword of Shannara trilogy, actually, Terry Brooks' world is supposed to be. It's hinted at that it's a post-apocalyptic world that magic now inhabits. It's like,
Isn't that supposed to be like the twist, though?
yeah, it's kind of the twist because there's like,
You ruined it for me. Spoilers.
oh,
I'm just kidding. I was never gonna read that.
yeah. I mean, it's very
I mean, I own
derivative.
It's one of
derivative
those that's
fantasy.
very far down on my list.
Yeah. Oh, if you've read Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings, you pretty much read Sword of Shannara. That's
Oh, okay then.
well, like with the
Well,
first
Andrew
book,
just finished Lord of the Rings.
the second book
I did, yeah.
deviates quite a bit, but
I actually read a derivative series of Lord of the Rings. It was Wheel of Time, which I've mentioned a few times. I can't help but even though I love Wheel of Time, I probably enjoy the world more than I did Lord of the Rings. Maybe that might just be childhood nostalgia talking, but looking at it like bird's eye view, taking a step back, I can't help but feel that it's an inferior version.
Which one?
Wheel of Time is inferior to Lord of the Rings, in my opinion.
yeah.
Well, there's a certain kind of depth of understanding of, well, you could say Arthurian legend, and that old English, like legitimate old English world.
Makes sense.
that
Some
he-
stupid
he's
American can't
able
recreate
to kind
it.
of rest upon as kind of this pseudo ancient world.
It might also be that like Tolkien kind of pioneers this area, and Robert Jordan is kind of like standing on the shoulders of Tolkien.
Yeah, I want to read through Lord of the Rings. I haven't yet. I feel kind of ashamed. But
Because the if you'll permit me to spoil Lord of the Rings, the twist, well, it's not really a twist. It's basically just like a hint. Like it doesn't mean anything, but it's pretty heavily hinted at that the world of of Wheel of Time is our world, just like thousands of years into the future.
Wait, what?
I didn't know
Yes.
that.
They find a
Is that a
statue.
spoiler?
It's not like it doesn't mean anything. It's just like, oh yeah, I guess this is.
They found a statue of Karl Marx.
No, they found a statue of They found the head of the
Statue
Statue
of
of Liberty.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure you're mixing it up with Planet of the Apes.
No, I am.
they did worship an
Planet of the
atomic bomb.
Apes.
They worshipped an atomic bomb in Planet of the
Now
Apes.
we follow it for
Return of the
follow
Planet of the
three.
Apes.
When did they find that?
Did you read Wheel of Time?
I'm reading it.
Okay, what book are you on?
Well, I've read the first two.
Okay, this is like book 9 or 10.
Big sad.
It doesn't mean anything. Oh, I feel really bad because I forgot you were reading these through those series.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't affect the story at all. It's just literally these people who are not the main characters are traveling. They look like hey, there's like a head of some statue there. Oh, that's weird. And they describe how it's like got these like little like spikes on like a crown coming out. Like, huh? And it's green too. Weird. And they just keep walking along, and it's like, oh, it was a statue.
Why do you think he dropped it in there like that? If that's the only reference to it,
I don't remember. Honestly, I should reread that series.
Was that book written after the Sword of Shannara, and it was cool to have a post-apocalyptic medieval?
I don't know when the Sword of Shannara was written.
70s.
And I don't know the year that what?
70s,
Really that old?
1970s.
70s. This I think Wheel of Time was written like starting in like 85. So like the first one was 85.
Wow.
Actually, let me fact check myself real quick.
Yeah.
So, I think we should wrap up.
Yep.
I got to go to bed soon.
I gotta do
I mean, I think I'm gonna cut out a lot of this stuff after the sponsor spot, or after party show.
1990, sorry, was the first book.
That's fine. We're just
1990.
chilling. We're just chilling. That's what it was.
So yeah, do want to add an outro of thank you for listening to Brian's Attic. Thank you especially to our Patreon supporters. If you want to become a Patreon supporter, you can support us by going to patreon.com/Brian'sAttic. You got something to say, Caleb?
Do what he says.
Do what he says. He's got a bomb.
I would
Is
also
he bluffing? You don't know.
I would also like to personally thank our Patreon subscribers. While it's not a significant financial investment to make this podcast, this is basically just something we do as three really good friends. We really appreciate you helping us to make this podcast better, and also for your expression of appreciation. It really helps me it helps me think that I'm not just like talking into a microphone into the void, and that someone actually cares. It's nice.
Actually, it does help. It covers about, well, so far, covers about 50% of the cost for us to be able to record it at a distance like this with such high fidelity audio.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It is, in a manner speaking, a significant contribution for bettering the podcast.
And that's something that someone only like a high IQ person like Brian would understand, and not his co-host.
Well, and
Andrew.
actually, that's kind of my theme for season 2. Season 1 is getting started. Season 2 is getting better.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I mean, it's not theme. Like, we won't be bringing it up all the time.
Hey, don't we feel better today, guys? This went way better.
Actually, if you want to talk about like getting better at a skill,
Go to Skillshare.
I probably shouldn't plug. Wait,
Not a
what'd you say?
Go to Skillshare.
Go to Skillshare.
Use code Brian's Attic.
I was just about to say, like, is it
code
okay if I
will
plug
not
another
work.
podcast that I'm not part of? Is it okay if I plug another podcast?
Use code improvement.
Listen to the overanalyzers. They're a podcast that basically they talk about like learning and getting
I was
better at
thinking the best way to improve at a skill is to
DMT.
get better by doing. And if you want to get really good at making a podcast, just go to anchor.fm.
You can really download it.
You can really download it. Thank you for listening to this episode of Brian's Attic. And of course, a special thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you would like to support Brian's Attic, head over to patreon.com/Brian's Attic, or use the link in the description.